and I went to like kind of a ghetto, like hood middle school. And I went to a dance and nobody's dancing except all the girls and all the dudes, you know, being cool. And I'm like, shit, I want to see these girls. And then before you know it, there's like a big circle around me and all these chicks. The next day, I'm having all these big dudes that I'm scared of. Like, yo man, don't tell nobody, but you teach me how to dance? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you keep me safe.
Herzlich willkommen auf hiphop.de, herzlich willkommen bei nicht on point, sondern wir haben heute ein ganz besonderes Schmankerl für euch. Ja, ein sehr besonderes Interview hier für Leute, die sich vielleicht nicht nur für Rap interessieren, ja, sondern auch für Tanz. Wir haben nämlich zwei der größten Tanzgenies der Welt, kann man an der Stelle sagen, ja, in Frankfurt zusammengebracht, haben sie hingesetzt, haben sie miteinander reden lassen, 30, 40 Minuten lang. Digga, was soll ich euch sagen? Das ist, nur mal kurz jetzt hier zu erklären für Leute, die wenig Ahnung von Tanz haben, so wie ich übrigens auch. Das ist in etwa so, wie wenn man Jay-Z und Drake nebeneinander setzt und sagt, ey, interviewt euch doch mal, redet doch mal miteinander. Wir haben nämlich auf der einen Seite, damit ihr auch wisst, wer da gleich sitzt, einmal Majid. Ja, Majid ist sozusagen der heißeste Tänzer zur Zeit. Hat ganz viele Wettbewerbe gewonnen. Internationale Battles wie Funkin Stylez, ja, 3-mal gewonnen. Juste Deboute 2-mal gewonnen, ist Weltmeister und so weiter. Also alles abgeräumt, was man so abräumen muss, ja, um der heißeste Tänzer zur Zeit zu sein. Und auf der anderen Seite haben wir Marty Kudelka. Ja, wenn dir der Name nicht sagt, sei dir sicher, seine Tanzmoves sagen dir was. Denn er ist sowas wie der Tanzpapst. Ja, er macht Choreos, bringt die bei Leuten wie Mariah Carey, J-Lo, Jason Derulo, Janet Jackson, ja, Justin Timberlake. Ich glaube, Justin Timberlake hat er sogar so richtig das krasse Tanzen beigebracht. Er ist übrigens auch Trainer, ja, an der MILLENIUM Tanzschule in LA. Das ist so the place to be, wenn du krass tanzen willst. Und interessant für euch jetzt, wenn ihr Bock auf Tanzen habt, kann ich euch nur sagen, Ende Juni, also in ein paar Tagen, wird der MILLENIUM Dance Komplex in Köln eröffnet. Ja, mitten in Deutschland, in Köln, am 24. und am 25. Juni. Merkt euch die 2 Tage im Kalender, streicht ihr euch rot an. Ja, an diesen beiden Tagen ist da große Eröffnung, Workshops, internationale Dozenten sind am Start, dies, das. Ihr werdet übertrieben viel lernen können, übertrieben viel sehen können. Link ist in der Beschreibung. Ja. Ich bin jetzt hier raus. Ich sag Peace out. Viel Spaß bei dem jetzt schon hier fast legendären Interview zwischen den zwei Tanzgenies, Marty Kudelka und Majid. Peace.
We're gonna do an interview, exchange a little bit about our culture, dance. He's from LA, I'm from Europe, Germany. And we're just gonna talk about the generations and what he did before, what I'm gonna do and what I did before. And well, yeah.
What we're gonna do in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I'm interested to know. I just found out you're young.
Yeah, I'm just 23.
23 years young.
Can I ask you how old you are?
42.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, man. 42 years young
and
still.
he's still in the game and doing it.
Yeah, oh. I honestly feel like I'm
25?
I feel like I'm 26.
Okay, one
but mentally though, I feel like, not that I'm just getting started, but like I understand the business side of it and the you know, but art-wise, I feel like I still have a lot to do.
Yeah,
you know, which is crazy.
Yeah, you can still progress.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I'll always be a student of the game. So.
Yeah. Like me right now, I feel the same. Like I'm already thinking like, how can I change? Like I did battles for a lot. Like I'm from the battle scene. I did a lot of battles. I traveled around the world for doing battles, and I mean now I want to do a next step. I want to bring it to a next level, like with my dance, you know, not just being a battle dancer. Everybody's like, oh, this is Majid. He does dope battles, but I want to make it more to art, you know, and that's what I'm already thinking about.
So if you could right now snap your fingers and like, what and do with your art anything, what would be your dream job or dream goal?
I want to be an artist with everything. Like if I want to perform, I want to have a piece on stage which is not only dance. Like if I perform something, it should be the music production should be mine. I want to do like a crazy show. I want to have my own clothes with that. You know, like everything like is a whole piece is produced by me. So I can say, yo, this is my art. I'm not doing just dance with the art of dance to a music of somebody. I want to have it like, this is all me, this is my piece. Like, and this I want to bring it to a next level. Like, not only being like, yo, he's a hip hop dancer, but I want to bring it to something people be like, oh, I feel connected to this guy, even if you do hip hop or whatever. His dance is just more expression, it's more story, it's more character. And that's what I'm trying to do.
On how big Like what scope? Like how big? Like say to do.
Let's dream, yeah.
Yeah, nah, for real though.
Yeah.
Like to do you say do a piece. So does that mean like a 15-minute set with everything you just said in Cologne or in Frankfurt or whatever in one club, and you do it a couple times, or like in traveling all over the world with other dancers in your like an hour and a half long show, like if you could do anything.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like if I do this piece, it should be like something like all the artists does. Like if a singer comes to stage, he have a show for 1 hour and people come and watch it. Now we do the same thing with dance. I mean, it's a long way to go. Like listening to music or watching dances is two different worlds.
Yeah.
But I want to bring it to one, so people be like, okay, even if he dance, for me it's like music. It's not. He's not just doing a piece on the track, which we know from whatever, like we say Chris Brown or something else. No, we just want to have his piece, his dance with his music, and people see it like own show. Like this is Majid. He's gonna perform his show and come watch it. I don't know if it's gonna be 10,000 people or not, but this is what I want. Like I want to have my own big show, like Chris Brown, Beyonce, whatever people do, but only with dance and everything else. Like the foundation is dance because I'm coming out of the dance.
Sure.
And I want to progress it. I want to bring it to the next level. And then can be, I don't know, music production on the stage. It can be a lot of dances on stage. It can be acting on stage, and all this with visuals. Like the technology right now is crazy. You can do a lot of stuff. And that's what I'm trying to do.
We ought to do something together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
It'll be a
for
pleasure
sure.
for me,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah, that's what. Sorry, my bad. I don't. Yeah.
It's all right.
Everybody's got a different one.
Yeah. Right.
But no, yeah, that's what's up, man. I knew a little bit about you. I've seen footage. We met. We were trying to figure it out off camera when we met, but it was definitely a long time ago.
Yeah.
In a club of some sort.
Somewhere, workshop. I think it was
or
a
workshops too. It's probably both.
Man.
But
I know you for a long time. Like I mean, which dancer doesn't know you? I mean, everybody know Marty Kudelka.
No, but that's funny you say that because it's a different time now.
Now, I mean, the dancers, like me, I'm dancing 15 years now.
Sure. Yeah.
So like, if there's a dancer just started like 5 years ago, I don't know if they know it or not. But if they do a good research, they would know about that.
Yeah, maybe they should.
They should know.
But they don't. Yeah, but it's funny though too. Like, or it's interesting. Like that's why. That's not the reason I'm over here doing a teaching tour. But like since Phil, who's my like tour manager or whatever, we've been talking, you know, on and off the trains and planes and automobiles and, you know, in and out of classes. And like the interesting thing is too is like a lot of the people now, the younger generation, they don't, and it's not necessarily their fault. You know, they have all this social media and all this YouTube and all this, and they, you know, that's
right now.
That's their generation. Cool. But what's really cool too is after class, some of these younger kids are like coming up and like, yo, man, that was unbelievable. Like, that's so dope, and I'm so inspired. And now they want to go and like do the research now, and like, oh shit, like,
you got two ways. You can show them the way now, do the research, or they did it before.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to see that generation too want to do that.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I know I'm still progressing and getting better and trying to push the limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's cool to see it in first hand, in first person, and like, all right, cool, without pushing it onto them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
you cannot force them to do the research.
No, absolutely not.
But that's what we have to do. We are responsible for that.
Yeah,
like we
for
the
sure.
dancers, we have to give them this feeling. Like when they dance with us, when they take classes, they want to get knowledge, they want to get skills, they want to have this feeling, feel good when they take their classes. And after that, they will be like, oh, damn, that was good. Then they're going to search for that, for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel the same. Sometimes I teach somewhere, like people even don't know, but they were like, oh, these guys come from abroad, let's take a class. And after they take my class, they feel so inspired and be like, wow, dope, this was more than just dance. He gave us more knowledge than dance. He gave us a love for the life. And then they start following and researching and know about the culture more. Yeah, some people think only, like for me, it's really important that dance is not only something move. Dance is much more than just doing moves.
Absolutely.
You know, it's much more. For me, my whole life is into my dance.
Sure.
So I put a lot more into that. I'm sure you did the same. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Because when I can tell people I start dancing because I love dancing and I love express myself. This was the only way how I can express myself. because I wasn't really good in talking, and now I got better, of course.
Yeah,
But
you have to.
Yeah, before it wasn't really good in talking, so I could express myself in dance, and I felt so good. And I was like, yo, I'm free. Nobody can tell me what to do. I just dance to the music.
Yeah.
And
no right or wrong.
yeah, and I'm sure it was the same for you.
Sure, absolutely.
Like, right now you have a lot of people that start dancing because they want to get famous on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
well, and actually what's cool is like my generation is like, you know, you have the OGs in the game, the Poppin' Pete's and the, you know, like course, that, those guys. And then there was, yeah, absolutely. And then under them were like another generation or two, and then my generation. Then a couple, two more generations, and then the YouTube generation, and then everything under. So what I'm blessed to be in my generation where I was at. What I'm happy for is like where I landed is that it wasn't like people had to go and learn if they wanted to do what they saw what I was doing, and if it moved them, they had to do what I did and learn off like videotapes and videos and learning, and like there was no YouTube, there was no nothing. Exactly. So I know if I show up to a class, and actually one of the first times that I ever saw this in real life, that somebody doing Like I Love You, you know, it was in Dusseldorf, where my boy Hams is from. And I literally taught a workshop. The song hadn't even been out that much. The only thing that people could see is the video and this MTV Award VMA performance. That's it.
Yeah.
And I came over here really quick after that, and I taught class. I didn't teach that. And then during, like, you know, I always have like a cipher after class or whatever, and that song came on, you know, whatever, just not even thinking about it. And like how many was it? Mo. But there was a few of them though, like. So these two dudes come out and they do it like I had taught them, and I'm like tripping. No, and I'm like on the whole other side of the world, like, holy shit, like, sorry, holy shit, yeah, scheisse. It like, this is crazy. Like what? Like it took me a second to even like to try to go along like with them. Like, oh man, like. I had people do that with something I did earlier for a different artist, but it was just like a little piece, and it would be like randomly in a hotel lobby with no music playing, like weird crap. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, whoa, that's kind of strange, but thank you that you like it. Yeah. But after my class, people doing it in Dusseldorf, Germany, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
The funny thing is like. I'm doing a lot of battles, so people watch my battles as well.
Sure.
So the first time I went to Japan, and I saw little kids doing the stuff I did, but they put it to the next level. Even I didn't even teach them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like a 12 years old guy and doing crazy floor works and all this, and I was like, wow, man.
Yeah.
It's my first time here. I never taught a workshop.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to see. Like people really learn a lot through this social network and all this,
absolutely.
YouTube and everything. Sometimes they get the right stuff, sometimes they get wrong stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to know, like, how did you get into it? Like, what was the reason, like?
I started, don't laugh, but I started
That's
like.
all right, man. I can tell you mine too.
Like, I saw the movie Breakin'.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, 84. I was like 9 years old. Saw the movie Breakin', and I lived in Texas. And I instantly saw it and was like, oh. I want to, you know, I played different sports and whatnot, but I was like, that seems cool. So I started off by started breaking, like trying, you know, whatever. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, a lot of us.
But, you know, there was some older, you know, I was young. So I was like, I ended up being the young kid and the cute kid in the crew, you know. So we would go to the roller skating rink and that's where we would battle every like weekend. And you know, and I could do a 6-step, I could do like a backspin and like one freeze. So that's it. So I would wait.
Just repeat it and did it everywhere.
I would just everywhere. But when we would battle other crews, I would wait. They would keep me hidden, and then everybody would go. And then you know, I was the last one, and that was it. And boom, we shut it down. And we won. I was like, yeah, cool. But after like a year or so, I thought like we all stopped because. We thought it was just a trend, we didn't know on the East Coast, the West Coast, it kept going. Some parts of Europe even, it kept going. Like we had no idea in Texas. There was no more movies. There was nothing to see. So it was like, oh, okay. So I stopped. Then I went to middle school. So like 13, 14 years old. And I went to like kind of a ghetto, like hood middle school. And I went to a dance and nobody's dancing except all the girls and all the dudes, you know, being cool. And I'm like, shit, I want to see these girls. Like, what's up, you know, like whatever. And then at the time it was like the New Jack Swing era.
Yeah.
So everything was easy to do and repeated and like, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I was watching them do it. I've never did that, but I'm watching them and I'm like, oh, that is easy. So I go out there and I start following them. And then before you know it, there's like a big circle around me and all these chicks. And all the dudes come over and I'm like, this is, you know, what's up? And then I'm like, oh, start like breaking a little bit. Like I'm like, I can still do this, you know, whatever. And it just shut the place down. And then it changed everything. The next day, I'm having all these big dudes that I'm scared of. Like, yo, man, don't tell nobody, but you teach me how to dance? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you keep me safe. Yeah, you know, whatever. And they literally would like, you know, I started hustling. They would like, before school, they would buy me something like food or a chocolate milk or something. And then I would, you know, later on at their house, I would go teach them some dance.
Yeah.
That was it.
Dope.
And then here we are, however many years later. It
Travel
never
around the
stopped
world.
after that. Like
Yeah.
I got more, a couple years later when I was 16, I started studio stuff.
Yeah.
And that, now here we are. You know what I mean? Like,
You never thought about, right? You never thought you were going to travel with dance and all this.
I didn't think about it until, well, when I was 16, I taught my first class ever, and it wasn't even, you didn't call it hip hop. There was no hip hop class.
Yeah.
All it was is I put a whole bunch of moves together. I didn't know how to count music. I didn't know what an 8 count was. I just put this routine together to a song and taught it. So at 16, I knew that you could make money. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I didn't think at that point travel.
Yeah.
But when I stayed in that studio world and still stayed in the freestyle world as well, though, from 16 to like 24. And when I was about 20, I knew this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do this, and I want to change the game, and I want to like be the best that I can be. But it was like 20 years old.
Dope.
And then nothing stopped me.
Dope.
Yeah, man. What's your story?
So, yeah, mine is funny because actually I never wanted to dance.
Okay.
That's really funny. I never wanted to dance. I was just dancing at home, but as a young kid in Germany, the only thing you do is playing soccer.
Sure.
So everybody was playing soccer, nobody was dancing. And I was dancing at home. My sister was like, "Oh, you're good. Let's put you in a class." And she really forced me. I didn't want to. And I was still playing soccer beside dancing. After like a few months, I stopped playing soccer. I kept going dancing. And that's how I started actually. I started doing that because I was watching dance videos and I was dancing at home. My sister forced me. After that, after I took all these classes, and I felt like shit. Now I want something else. I feel like dance is more than just taking classes.
Sure.
And I stopped taking classes, and that's how I went to freestyle. Because I had friends that were dancing too, and we met each other in youth clubs. And Germany is really famous to practice in youth clubs.
Sure.
It's the only place where you can go. Nobody wants you to pay money and all this.
Yeah.
So we went there and we just practiced, and then we felt like, oh, dope. And then we heard about battles and everything. So with 14, I start with 9. I started dancing with 9, and with 14 I felt like, okay, let's go watch some battles, and then I started battling 1 year later with 15. So that's crazy. Like even nowadays, if you ask people, nobody took that much time just to know about the dance. Right now, if somebody want to do a battle, they start dancing. 4 months later, they do their first battle.
Sure.
They don't want to know about the dance before that. They don't want to know like what's dance to me. And I took my time with that. So with 14 15, I did my first battles. And with 16, 17, with my brother, my big brother, he drove me everywhere around Europe. We were like, yo, let's do it. Let's do some battles. Let's go kill it. And with 18, I started traveling around the world. So with 18, I did my first international trip to Russia. This was my first time. I was like, wow, I'm going to Russia.
Yeah.
And when I started dancing, I really never thought about doing stuff like that. Never.
Sure.
It was not my aim for this. And this is maybe, that's why I'm here, because I started because I just dance and I love to dance.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And
but that makes sense though, like what you said, the reason that you're probably are at the level you're at and ahead of so many other people is that you actually, without even thinking about it, learned about the dance.
Exactly.
And put in all that work.
Exactly.
And then, you know what I'm saying, where somebody, if they no matter if they're really good or not, and start for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then go, they may have a really short career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's you have to put in that work. Same thing, like very similar. I didn't move till I was to LA till I was 24.
Oh.
Which is considered really late, like
yeah,
to move
right now,
to, you know,
for sure,
like
yeah.
way late. But when I moved there, I started working really fast. Even as a choreographer, I had to go to auditions as a dancer because I couldn't just show up and people and say, "Hey, I'm Marty from Texas. Give me a choreography job." It doesn't work like that. So I had to audition as a dancer and whatnot. But then doors started to open quick. I met people, I talked to people, and it's because of my experience, all the work I put in Dallas. So I started choreographing for like big artists, like less than a year being there. And I would get hated on so much from people who were there before me. Like, oh, he just moved here, he didn't pay his dues and da-da-da. They don't know nothing about me. I'm like, yeah, I did 10 times as much as you, like, you know, whatever. You just got here 5 years ago, but you just started dance 6 years ago. You know, so like I trust me, I put in the work, man. Like it makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I feel like even like you're from the older generation, you're doing it for a long time. But I think the way we started is maybe the same.
Yeah, very similar.
And I think these people who are still doing it, we all have maybe like not the same, but almost the same start. Like how we started is almost the same. And that's what I feel, and that's why I feel connected to these people, because when I talk to them, I know, like, okay, that's the same way I did, maybe not in the youth club, but we started out of nothing. We started not because we wanted to be this dancer, we wanted to be this person, we wanted to be a choreographer, we wanted to be the best battle dancer. No, we started because we just felt good with dancing, and we tried out, and that's the thing what I want to know about people, like, I want to know, like, how did you start and all this, and I feel it's good. And what I really want to know is, because in Europe we don't have this, let's call it industry.
Sure.
You know, we don't have this here. It's really hard for us. That's like me. I'm really trying to, what I'm doing right now, even if I'm young, I have the aim to open doors for other dancers to live their life as a dancer, as an artist, and not to be only a background dancer for somebody, or even if you do that, it's all right. But in Europe, the people don't get they don't get paid that much. That's what I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. And what I want dancers to be in the front. So that's what I do. I want to work like that, and that's my aim, to open doors. And you know, that's why I try to do like all this stuff I do in battles. I try to do it on TV. I did a TV show with that. All this character I have on battles, I did it on a German TV show with my hip hop dance, and I won. People were surprised, like, damn, a hip hop dancer solo guy came and won a TV show here. It was really, for people were like, oh, dope, this is the next step for the dancers here. And now I want to progress with that. I want to go step forward. And I want to know, like, how is it for you? How did you get in this industry? Like you said, you took like auditions and doors open.
Yeah, for sure.
But was it your aim? Like,
not well. When I was in Texas before I came to Los Angeles, for 3 years prior to that, and again, I was teaching 25 classes a week.
Oh.
For 10 months out of the year, for 5 years in a row, before I moved to LA, from 19 to 24 years old. So
that was a lot.
A lot, but remember, like I started that when I was 19. After a year, I started like, you know what? I know I want to choreograph. That's my passion. I'd rather paint the picture than be in the picture. So I knew that, and I don't know the reason why, but I knew that I figured that out then. And then once I figured that out, I wanted to be, like, I wanted to create something unique that no one else is doing.
Right.
So during my 2 months off every year, I would travel to LA by myself for 2 weeks, a week, whatever I could afford. I saved up my money all year. I would go. Nobody knows who I am. I would go and stay at like a crappy hotel. I would go, I'd sneak in clubs. I would go take class. I would take jazz class. I would take class that I have no like business being in, but I'm just like, it can't be bad.
Yeah,
like,
I just want to get something new.
Cool, you know, and I would be embarrassed sometimes and like, oh man, I suck. Like I can't do, like, but I did it because it's.
But that's what we all need, dancers.
Absolutely. But
we need this. We need to risk something. We need to do something which we are not good with. We don't feel good with.
You be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
you have to. That's how you like work on something. That's how you get your stamina. That's how you will learn stuff.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the key moments, I went to a club the first year that I went to LA. And in the club, first of all, I snuck in. I wasn't old enough. I snuck in.
That's what I did too.
Yeah. So you got to. If you dedicated, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not saying to sneak in, kids, but
don't do that.
do what you got to do. And I literally found, this circle started happening, this cipher, and literally, at the time I didn't know their names either, but it was Poppin' Pete, Skeeter Rabbit, like a B-Boy Ivan, Flowmaster. I knew Flowmaster actually. I knew his name. But I'm sitting there like watching this.
They're going crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, and I'm like, man, in my head, like, because in Dallas, I was pretty good, I thought. Like,
yeah, and now you feel like, damn,
and I was like, this is crazy. I'm like kind of disappointed because I didn't realize who it is yet, you know? So, but I'm like, man, I didn't step in the circle, not once, like the entire week, then go home, but that gave me like the drive to like get better. So I had like a little crew and we would train but they, and every year, like, you got to come out with me next time, man, y'all got to come because we got to get better. Like, and every year they say, yeah, let's do it. Every year I went by myself.
Yeah, right, I know these people.
So and I was probably the least talented, like, freestyler out of all of them. They were all better than me. But then things started to change, and I started to go, and I started to get inspired. So I still didn't. I knew I wanted to choreograph, but I also knew that I'm going to clubs and watching these dudes dance, and I'm getting better. I'm going to class, but I'm not seeing the same people either.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, well, maybe I have something. So I'm trying to get better with my choreography. I'm taking classes as a student, and I'm training as a freestyler dancer. Yeah. And I feel like that was a huge thing. And then second was I'm start watching music videos of Michael and Janet and all these things, and I'm like, all right. And I started asking myself as a choreographer, can I do what these guys can do? Whoever choreographed these videos, and I'm like, yeah, I can do it. But then I thought, I don't want to do that though. I want to be me. I want to change. I want to do something no one's done before.
Right.
So then I started like training harder and created my own style. Like, it doesn't have people call it different things, but it's just Marty's choreography.
Exactly. That's what people ask me too.
And it's
me.
But it was the way I listened to music, the way that I jump off different instruments and listen to stuff that no one paid attention to, and that became like, oh shit, where people wanted to be a part of that, So what I set out to do, I did. And that's what made it more gratifying when I'm in Dusseldorf and I'm seeing these people who I don't know doing it, like, oh man, like it shit happened. It's like, cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, it's crazy the way the world works, but it definitely was. Again, I'm still a student.
We all. I still want to be. I'm not going to stop that.
Yeah, no. If you do, then people are passing right by you that we don't know.
Right.
No,
I still want to learn even.
Yeah, man. I
don't care what people say or tell me about my dance or whatever. I just want to learn more. I just want to progress. I want to like be the best what I can do. Sometimes I still feel like, yo, that wasn't the best. And people are like, oh, that was dope. And I'm like, no, man, I can do more.
Yeah,
do more,
no. Yeah,
and
I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me going, keeps the fire.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But now, like I told you, like I did a lot of battles. That's why I was asking you, how did you get into it? Because now, like us battle dancers, not only me, a lot of people, we know we did like so many battles. We won battles twice, 3 times. I mean, like, yo, it's enough. You cannot just win battles. It doesn't make sense. So you want to create something. You want to create more because people see our dance. They be like, yo, he had a dope style. That's crazy. But now I want to put it in a piece. I want to like show it in a different way. I don't want to just show it in a battle. Like.
So what you're talking about doing, which is super, super dope, is it's been not done before, but like, you know, like Jam on the Groove.
Yeah.
This old, like, you know, with Rocksteady crew,
Yeah.
and like that's similar to what you want to do. Yeah. So, but it's never blown up to this huge thing.
Right.
So there's really not a manual to, like, you can't go and go,
Yeah,
how
I
to do
it
this.
way. Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So that's what's really hard.
what's really hard too,
Yeah.
but I think what's cool now though is with the social media and with this and that,
Yeah.
I think
You got a
that's
platform for
probably that's the biggest. Like a lot of people in my generation hate on all that, and I think that's ridiculous because I don't know what the issue is. Like, you know what I mean? You have to adapt if you want to keep going and make your craft and further it. So I think that, especially with what you've already done too, that's the way to go, is to get people's attention off of that, you know what I'm saying, and create a buzz where people will come to you and try to fund, as long if you have the idea, and people will try to fund it and help and do whatever they can. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Yeah, right. But the thing is, the culture here in Germany is really young.
Sure.
Like, it's really, like, us battle dancers, we start growing. I mean, we put Germany on the map the last few years, maybe.
Okay.
You know, before we had some battle dance, but wasn't that much. But now we got a lot of people, and we have, even on the biggest battle right now in the world, Juste Deboute, we have a German guy judging hip hop. Like, nobody thought about this a few years ago.
Right.
You know, and he's still young. He's just 26 or 7, and judging one of the biggest battles on the world. And before that, we didn't have a lot. We had Storm, of course.
Sure.
Like, everybody knows Storm. But when I started dancing, I didn't know a lot about Storm. And he was from Berlin, and I'm from the West. So it was really hard to get connected. And that's why you, like, in Germany, we start dancing, everybody in his own area.
Sure.
So, like, every area has its own style of dance. Like, that's why, like, if you see us dancing, we also dance different.
Yeah.
We, like you said, we didn't have the manual and people tell us how to do it. It's just we start from something and we just learn by experience, and that's how we create the German hip-hop style. But now we want to put it on the next level. They were asking me, we're trying to open something here for Germans. We want to do something here for them. Like, we want to have an industry, let's call it industry. And we want to be, like I said, artists here. We don't want to be just dancers. Like, in Germany, if you tell somebody you're a dancer before that, they'll be like, okay, but what you doing? Like, what's your job? Like, yo, man, I'm a dancer. I do my money with that.
Yeah.
But some people don't understand that, especially because you're like a hip-hop dancer. They're like, oh, hip-hop, nice. And they don't even know what's the difference between breakdance and all this.
Yeah, of course.
Like hip-hop, they didn't even know. Like, you say, you're a hip-hop dancer. Yeah, can you do a backflip? And you look at them like, so it's not really, we are not really old with this culture, so it's still young for us. That's why it's good to have you here and ask you about that stuff.
Sure.
Just to let them people know about it and like how you get into it, and maybe the people understand, like, yo, I'm young, I'm from the young generation, you're from the old generation, but we had the same aim, or maybe we have the same ambition.
Absolutely.
So the people right here in Germany or somewhere else, they know, like, okay, we can do whatever we wanted to do. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Just you gotta do it. Like, don't wait for somebody to tell you to do it or give you a way to do it. Try to find it out.
Absolutely, man. It sounds cliche, but like whatever you set your mind to, if you really want to do it, you can do it.
Exactly.
You know, like, I'm a parent now. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and the more and more each day goes by, I catch myself saying these things to somebody else or to my class or to her, you know what I mean, to her friends or whatever, and it's like, damn, I sound like my parents, you know, but it's but it all makes sense now. It's true, you know what I mean, and so
It's
now
true,
I'm like even this workshop tour I'm doing, this is the first time that I've ever, normally I come in, I say hello, my boy Phil warms them up, I look at the level of class, and then like while he's warming them up, like, cool, I'm gonna teach this, and then I teach. Then we go take pictures, we leave.
Yeah.
This workshop tour, the first thing I do is I sit with them. Everybody sit down, no matter what the age, and we talk for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
just
right.
because like I want, if one person leaves, you know, if I answered a question or if I said something to what we know, whatever we end up talking about, if I help one person like make their dream come true, even if it's not in dance, just in life in general,
right.
that's amazing to me. You know,
right,
I don't
bro.
even need to hear it, know it, like I'll feel it, you know,
Right.
and like, or meet them later, like, yo, man, you know what you said? That,
like,
oh,
and you
that's
teach
what's up.
together, like on the camp. You'd be like,
Yeah,
oh, this guy's teaching with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So like it's as I get older and like wiser,
Right.
you know, like
You
I'm
get more
trying
to be an inspiration,
yeah, I
a
mean,
big inspiration.
trying to, why not? You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it's not
Like,
just trying to. Like people see you doing it, and you're doing it right, and you're
Sure.
still true to yourself. That's the inspiration. People are like, wow, he's still doing it, man, and he's still great in his stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's dope. He's still him. He's not trying to be somebody else every year because something else comes up.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
man. I tell people I don't follow trends. Like
Right,
I
right.
make history.
And,
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody may think that's being cocky or confident,
Nah,
but
that's all right, man. That's good.
That's the truth,
That's
though.
good. That's the truth. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We all wanna
Forget
do
all that shit.
We all
Like,
want to do that. We want to.
Yeah.
If we leave this culture, we leave that thing. People can say, "Yo, remember Marty did this?
Yeah,
Marty did that."
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like nobody cares that you came as a dancer and everybody knew you. But if you put something to the culture, and you
Yeah,
give it
man.
back, that's what people need.
And you've already done that. You're young as hell, man. Shit, you already got some big footprints. I mean, I still really enjoy not just, you know, teaching people about the history and about whatever, but I still love to dance. Like I don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to. I don't even necessarily have to be here. I'm not here just to make money.
All right.
And then
You just
know,
love to do that.
I love to do it. I still have
sure.
a class in LA, a Millennium Dance Complex. I've had the same class for 17 years.
Oh.
Monday and Wednesdays at 7:30.
The same.
The same
didn't
time
even-
frame, same days, but I'm 17 years of at the same place. But I'm more selective now of when I teach. I want it to be special because it is true in Los Angeles, like even the best dancers in the world, if I show up on a Monday and a Wednesday, then the next Monday I'm gonna show up. There could be people sitting like, yo man, you gonna go take Marty's? Like, yeah, no, I'll just take it Wednesday. I don't want that to happen. I want when I come, I want them to be excited to come.
Yeah, they have to come.
Yeah. So I don't teach every single Monday and Wednesday. But I'm blessed to have the opportunity to make that decision myself. Like,
Dope. I
you
mean,
know.
you've been there for 70 years. I mean, they have to give you this opportunity.
Yeah, Millennium, that's my home away from home. And we have an understanding.
Dope.
And you know, every single artist that I've worked for, that I've been blessed to work for, I brought through there. You know what I mean? So it's, I scratch their back, they scratch mine, you know.
That's nice to hear because the thing is I have my own studio too.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so I have my own studio for 3 years now, and I teach every
Word.
Wednesday. So I put it on Wednesday because nowadays we start traveling on Thursday, Friday to Mondays. And I was
Word.
like, no, I have to put it on a day where I'm always there just to teach. And I want to teach
I like this guy. I like
I want to teach the city where I come from, where I start dancing. I mean, it's not the biggest city, it's really small.
Doesn't matter.
But the people love it that they can come and dance with me, like even if it's freestyle, the knowledge, whatever. And I'm trying to grow up something there, like just to give it back to the city. And it's nice to hear, like 17 years now. I'm gonna try to do the same.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to keep the same time. I mean, I kept
Yeah,
it for 3 years now. So let's see
You're
how
getting
many
there.
years.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think you will. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, man. That's cool. So that's what you got going on is your studio.
Yeah,
too. But you battle, but you still go and travel on the weekends.
Yeah, I do. But what I'm doing right now, like before I did a lot. I was like, yo, I have to travel, I have to go everywhere. Everything comes on, I have to go. But now I'm like, no, let me take my time a little bit for myself, just to create something else. Not just only to go and teach, because when I go somewhere, I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but I'm 23, but I've been everywhere except Africa. I've been everywhere and I taught everywhere.
That's crazy at 23.
And I don't want to go there every time the same people are, I mean, not the same people, I mean, with so many humans in the world, but just to go and teach. I want to bring something else. So the other thing what I do is now I have a project like online workshops. People can take my freestyle classes online.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, as well. So people around the world, they still have something of my knowledge online. So they can take the freestyle classes online and work with me online at home. Because
That's
you have
fresh.
a lot of people, they don't feel good to come to a class, because when I'm in the class, I go crazy. I let them freestyle in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to be confident. I'm like, yeah, let's go, we freestyle, we do this, try this. And they feel like, oh, this is maybe too much. And with this idea I came up, then like, they have their own time for themselves and they can practice at home. Nobody's like really caring, just to build up something confident.
Yeah.
And then if they feel confident, they'll be like, okay, now I'm going to the next jam and then I want to try this out. And that's what I do. Like, I start young, sharing my knowledge, because I traveled really a lot. I invest a lot in my career. I invest a lot of money and time and everything in what I do. And I start traveling really young, and I paid a lot of money. My family paid a lot. Paid for me. My brother paid a lot for me just to go to a jam, even for a battle, and didn't like. I didn't even pass the pre-selection, and we drove like 12 hours by car.
Shit.
But was the experience
And
which
that
was
taught
worth.
you something. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And, and that's what I try to give these people right now. Like, you need this experience. You need this time. Like, I remember even I was sleeping at McDonald's nights and not in a hotel. And it was here in Frankfurt, funny. I was here in Frankfurt, I was sleeping at McDonald's and they kicked us out. They were like, yo, you gotta go out and all these stuff. And that's what I try to give these people in my age.
That's dope,
now.
man.
Yeah.
That's fresh. You can go online and do that now.
Yeah.
I never like you or me probably 10 years ago would have never thought that that'd be possible.
Yeah, I mean, I went with it. I was like, oh, YouTube and all this is going crazy. People love to be online on the internet. Let's do that. Let's teach people
dope.
that. Let's.
Yeah, that's fresh.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
So what you doing right now? Like, what's recent?
Besides being at Snipes, my home away from home, and Millennium Dance Complex, and the tour that Philip Mungili, Don't Be Silly, and myself are doing across Europe. Besides those things, so a couple things I've done over the last couple years. I choreographed the Trolls movie. Anybody haven't seen it, go see it. Teaching trolls ain't easy to do. Just joking. I did that. I just did 2 Target commercials for kids. One's a soccer commercial, actually.
Nice.
And another handshake commercial. I didn't tell you about Hamza yet, which I got, they asked me, can I do handshakes? I said, you talking to the guy. So I just did that. Actually, I had to push back this trip 2 weeks because of those 2 commercials. Sorry, Phil. And yeah, I try to stay busy. I've got a new group that I'm working with named Jack and Jack, that I'm 2 guys that are really dope. One's a singer, one's a rapper. My boy Ivan right now is prepping them. I go back to LA on Monday. I start with them on Wednesday. I try to stay busy. I don't like days off.
Right.
I try to do stuff. I like working with new artists a lot because I like them coming in fresh, and maybe if they're talented and hungry enough, and I know I am, I can build a career with them.
Right.
Watch them grow from this, rather than I've been blessed enough to work with a whole bunch of A-list artists, which sometimes want to come in and don't want to do, or come in on their own time and be late. And I'm not a late dude, so I'm not cool with that. And don't want to work hard. They say they want to work hard, but they don't.
Just talking.
There's only 2 or 3 artists, A-list artists, that actually do what they want to say. And yeah, got some heat hopefully coming out.
That's dope. I mean,
know,
like,
in the
you
next-
still keep going.
Yeah,
you're still
man.
doing all this stuff.
And
And you're still excited. I can feel it.
Oh,
You're still excited
absolutely.
about it.
Yeah.
It's not like, yo, I'm just doing my job. I got this.
No,
and
no,
this.
no.
You're still excited doing it.
like I said
And
earlier,
that's the real love to dance.
I have a family, I have a kid. It's hard to be away from them, especially so far. Like,
Exactly.
thank God, like with FaceTime and all
Yeah,
that.
right.
But
This is good.
still, it's really hard. Like, I try to come here, pack it in, go back. But I love what I do, so I'm here. You know, no matter how far I go. And, you know, like even when I'm, you know, in LA or whatever, I try to, I still love what I do, so I'm going to do it. And I try to make time for them, even if it's not sleeping a lot or this or that, or
Right.
having 3 flights in one day just to get back 8 hours early. Cool. But I'm blessed to do what I love, man.
That's dope.
I know you feel the same way.
Yeah. And I feel inspired about this interview right now because
Us too, man. Let's
That's
do
dope.
something together for sure, man. Let's make history. You know what I'm saying? Forget all these trends. let's come to Snipes. Maybe you'll see, you know, a little combo clothing line or something. You know what I'm saying? Or a shoe, or, you know, what's up, Nike? Yeah, call at your boys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Majid, Marty. Let's go. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, people? We're here in Snipes store, Frankfurt, with Marty, and we're having an interview about the cultures we're into, and
That was a pleasure, man. Yeah, let's do it
Thanks a
again.
lot, man.
Yes, sir.